In England, we say water. England, they pronounce the T.
That's too fancy, sorry. We do like the double D instead of the T.
Water. Yeah, it's like the chill version of water.
I feel like in Australia we kind of just tend to relax everything. So like we elongate the vowels, it's very like wah, like the jaw movement, yeah, we stretch it out.
India is so large, I cannot really generalize the accent. And the thing is, each and every person, their accent is also kind of affected by the state they come from and their mother tongue. So in my case, I think my accent is somewhat between Americanized and Indian accent.
Yeah, I would say probably similarly in America because it's so big, there's so many different accents. But in general, I know that we're more nasal, more everything's frontal, and like the R's are very R-y.
In England, I think it does, again, similar to what you said about with India and America, it depends where you are from. I heard earlier some people say it sounds more soft and posh.
I love it. Actually, I really love it. Personally, for me, no. I think there will be the difference in how one enunciates the vowels or pronounces certain letters. But overall, I think it's gonna be pretty similar.
I think like I'm gonna be the one that's different. Again, like, yeah, I think the American sounds a bit different than the other.
In the Indian one, I can hear a mix of British and American in your accent. Yeah. In Australian, I hear more British.
I feel like there will be obvious differences, but I think in terms of like shock factor, I think we're all used to like watching American movies or watching British shows and things like this, so we're kind of open like to hearing these.
In England, we would say schedule.
In US, we would say schedule.
In India too, we would say schedule or schedule, but I've heard what's your schedule because we learn British English in India.
In Australia, it's quite similar. Like you have people who say schedule or schedule.
It kind of makes more sense to be a schedule. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but the CH, yeah, I don't know why we say schedule.
Oh, this one is good. In England, we say water or water.
In US, we say water, or I mean some areas say like water.
In India, we say water.
Yeah, in Australia, we'd say water.
Water.
For England, they pronounce the T. They just say water without the T.
Water.
We do like the double D instead of the T.
Water. Water. Yeah, it's like the chill version of water.
In England, we say banana.
In the US, we say banana.
In India, we say banana.
Yeah, in Australia, we say banana.
I do feel like yours sounds like a mix of like both of.
Yeah.
There's an A and an O sound different.
I think it's because we just pronounce it as it is, and in Hindi, like the nana part, like we just think of the A matra. I don't know what it's called in English right now, but that's why we're like banana.
In England, we would say adult.
In US, we say adult.
In India, I've heard many people using adult and adult both.
In Australia, this would be adult. It's interesting though where the emphasis is, because I think with you two,
yeah, mine is like adult is where like adult, and then yours is like adult.
Yeah. So in England, this kind of has two different things, but the most common is garage or garage.
In US, we would say garage.
In India, depending on where you're from, you'll say garage or garage.
In Australia, you just say garage. No, that's too fancy. Sorry, just say garage.
It's interesting because all three of them are saying je, and we're like garage. It's a whole J. It's not a JH.
In England, some people say garage.
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 Garage, garage.
Garage is a little bit different.
I'm just surprised that Australia, we're basically said it the same way, I think, garage. Yeah.
I was expecting it to be closer to the UK pronunciation, but I have heard garage too.
In England, people say advertisement.
In US, we say advertisement.
In India, we say advertisement.
In Australia, we say advertisement.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised on my end because, like I said, we learned British English in high school. But yeah, advertisement is how I was taught.
I mean, usually we just call it an ad or an advert, which would make more sense if you're advertisement, but full word is more advertisement. I feel like that's just...
Advertisement sounds so serious. Like, I don't know, like, it sounds like something completely different.
Did you see the advertisement on YouTube?
Wait, what is that? A disease? I don't know.
In England, pronounce this word as zebra.
In the US, we say zebra.
I've heard people in India say both zebra and zebra.
In Australia, zebra.
I think this also goes along with what we call the Z. Like in America, we say the letter is Z.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, you say Z. So Z goes with zebra and Z goes with zebra.
So when you do the alphabet, you end it with Z, not Z.
Yeah.
You say Z.
Why is it a Z?
We always say W, X, Y, Z.
I was thinking it makes more sense with the American.
To be
in
Z.
The ABC song.
Yeah.
Now I want you to sing with me, Z rhymes.
Yeah, it rhymes.
Z doesn't.
We ended with a Z.
England, we would say missile.
In US, we would say missile.
In India, we would say missile.
I feel like in Australia we'd say missile as well, but you could probably hear missile. No, you wouldn't. I heard it, it didn't work.
Missile launch.
You'd think missile would be British and missile would be American.
Yeah.
Because I think
Because we usually do the hard vowels.
Like advertisement, advertisement.
This pronunciation just sounds very dainty and
But that one's quite like missile.
So aggressive.
But like when you think about it, like Americans also sometimes take away the I, the second I, like aluminium, we say aluminum.
In England, we would say this sentence like, there are 4 bottles of water, or there are 4 bottles of water.
In the US, we would say there are 4 bottles of water.
In India, we would say there are 4 bottles of water.
In Australia, we'd say there are 4 bottles of water.
So it's just the T
I
again.
love the water.
And just everything is blends together. There's no
It's
breaks.
so fun to say water. Can I have some water?
I think the most proper way in England, though, they would always say the T's. So that's the difference. So there are 4 bottles of water.
I think in US, we just always make 2 T's always sounds like a D, bottles.
Australia, it sounds like a D as well.
Bottles, yeah.
In England, we would say this sentence like, we are working on a garage advertising schedule, or we are working on a garage advertising schedule.
In US, we would say we are working on a garage advertising schedule.
In India, we would say we are working on a garage advertising schedule or schedule. My mom taught me this when I was a kid. Advertisements, advertising. It's an is and an I.
In Australia, we'd say we are working on a garage advertising schedule, or you could also say we are working on a garage advertising schedule.
So it could almost sound very similar to US, I think. Yeah, that's interesting.
In England, we would say adult and child watching zebras while holding banana ice cream.
In US, we would say adult and child watching zebras while holding banana ice cream.
In India, we would say adult and child watching zebras while holding banana ice cream.
In Australia, we'd say adult and child watching zebras while holding banana ice cream.
So you said adult?
I feel like it changes the stress depending on the sentence, because for example, like an adult, whereas adult by itself would be adult, but an adult, because of like the grammar, I think would be an adult.
That's interesting, yeah.
And it doesn't change in England, I think. Just adult and child.
Yeah, adult and child. It was fun.
I think I was surprised by, like randomly, like I would match with one of you. Hardly ever the UK, to be honest. But like you two like would switch between which words we say the same and which we don't, which I'm not sure why. I find that kind of interesting.
I think for Indians, like we have adapted to both British English and American English. So nowadays there's no distinguishing between the 2 different accents. People usually say it as they hear it. So depending on that, it's different from what they're taught as kids too. But I was like happy to just hear the different pronunciation. I like water.
I feel like Australia is similar. Like Australia is such a big mishmash of cultures and people, like with different languages as well. So we kind of pick up different things depending on where you live as well. Like there's just things that are more popular or not.
And then England is more separate, I think, than that.
You guys are the OGs.
Yeah, you're the original English. Proper English.
We just don't change it. But the thing that shocked me the most was missile.
Missile, yeah.
Missile and missile. Today, we tried to find out the accent differences between 4 different English-speaking countries.
If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below.
We will see you next time.
Bye!